Colbert gets the carry, straight up the gut. Jordan still
man,
on his
Jordan.
feet, spinning.
There
He
you
scores! Jordan Colbert with a 10-yard touchdown run. Tight formation here on 3rd and 1. They snap it directly to Colbert. Jordan's got room,
Oh, look at
and
that.
he's got space. He's at the 50. It's a foot race now. He's at the 30, the 20. Can he beat him to the corner? 10-5.
Yeah.
No
Oh,
signal.
he was in.
Touchdown
Yeah, he was.
Rams. It's a TD for City, and it's a beauty. Snap is good. Hold is good. The kick is long enough, and it's good! Liam Peterson wins it with a 49-yard field goal that cleared the crossbar by about 2 yards. All right, welcome to another edition of the Fresno City Football Report. I'm your host, Scott Bemis, alongside, as always, the head coach of the Rams, Tony Caviglia. And, Coach, you've brought one of your star running backs with you here today. Tell me who you brought.
Yep, we brought Jordan Colbert, a running back from San Joaquin Memorial. Had a monster game Saturday, and looking forward to hear what he has to say about that.
All right, Jordan, so what about that game on Saturday? You had a big game. You went over 100 yards in a huge win for you guys over COS. Rivalry game. They were feeding you the rock, and you were delivering. What went into that performance for you?
Into that performance, I just think it was preparing during the week of practice and trusting my O-line and my coaching and just doing what I needed to do out there.
Yeah, Jordan finished with 139 yards on the ground, 12 carries. I think you also had a pretty cool catch down the sideline, right, where you almost got into the end zone as well. For running backs, is there something to maybe like getting in the zone as a running back? You know, do you have games where you're just kind of feeling it, and if so, what's that like?
Yeah, when you get in that zone, it's something different. I don't know. I always look to my first few plays. I try to get some contact in early. Then it just sets me off for the rest of the game.
Okay. Coach, what'd you think about his performance Saturday in that win over COS 23-21? I mean, a huge win for you guys. You guys have been running the ball better recently. To see that out of him, that had to be bring a smile to your face.
Yeah, really, he caught some seams, and his explosive runs were the difference in the game. I believe. You know, he made a couple long runs that got us in the end zone or got us near the end zone, and he's a big play back. He's a big back, but he also can go the distance and catches the ball well out of the backfield, and he's a 5-tool running back, and I'm glad he's on our team.
I'm glad he's on your team as well, Coach. All right, we got to talk about the way this game finished. Fresno City beat COS 23-21 on Saturday on a last-second field goal, courtesy of Liam Peterson, Coach. It also gave you win number 200 at Fresno City, which was fun to celebrate afterwards, and I'm sure that was a very special thing for you. But 49-yard field goal from a junior college kicker. I mean, that's not a guarantee, right? When you saw that thing go through, what was your reaction?
I was very happy, to say the least. At first I thought he hit it good. I thought he pushed it a little bit, and then pandemonium broke out. So I realized it went through. It's he's really a fabulous kicker, and when you give good athletes, good players a chance to make plays and win games, they rise up and do it, and it's no different for a kicker.
Jordan, that had to be a special moment for the team, as a whole, because it kind of kept your playoff hopes alive at the same time. When you're on the sideline, it's kind of out of your control. What's that like, watching that final kick?
Well, I warm up with Liam every day, so I'm able to see him go out there and kick and drill from 60. So I was pretty confident in his ability to make that kick. So I'm glad he went through with it.
So you've seen him hit like 60-yarders in practice?
He got it in him.
Yeah. I mean, he's got one of the strongest legs, I think, in the state, Coach, more than likely. I mean, I've only seen the teams on your schedule so far, but he's certainly got the strongest leg of any kicker that you guys have been up against this year.
Yeah, and it's probably one of the best legs we've had in many, many years. I mean, I go back to I just can't. The thing that Liam does so well is he kicks it far, but he also kicks it high, and it's hard to block. And I just think I work with the kickers. Last year I didn't do a very good job with the kickers, but this year I did a much better job. We're very happy with Liam and the talent that he has, and be able to put him in positions to win games for us is something that we're going to continue to do.
Whole bunch of heroes in the game Saturday, Coach. Yajay Vance played well in the first half. Also want to point out the play of Christian English on that final drive. Came in. This was his first series of the second half. He brings a little different dynamic to your offense. A little bit more of a scrambler, a little bit more mobile than Yaje is. And you brought him in there with basically 2 minutes to go in the game, needing a field goal to win the game. Drive starting inside your own 20. What gave you confidence that he could get it done?
Well, we open up the playbook when Christian's in there. There's a lot of things that he can do with his legs that. Really is an advantage for us, and we knew we were going to get pressure, and we knew we needed to get the ball out fast, and he was a guy that can do that. No disrespect or anything to Yaje. Yaje played a tremendous game and actually got us in a position to win that game. But Christian really is a difference maker in regards to extending plays and getting the ball down the field, and sure enough, he did that.
Yeah, he got you into position to win it, and then Liam finished it off with a field goal that went over the upright by, looked like about a yard or two, Jordan. When it was in the air, did you think it had enough distance?
As soon as I seen it leave his foot, I'm like, yeah, that looks great. That looks
okay,
right.
So you're confident. You're a good teammate at that point. For you, Jordan, this point in the season, as a running back, I mean, here we are. You've played 8 games, right? You've been through an entire spring. You're a sophomore at Fresno City, so you've been there a while and been through the battles and the wars. What's the body feeling like at this point in the season as a running back?
Me personally, my body I still feel amazing. I feel fresh. I feel like it's a lot of off-season work that comes into this play right here. So taking my off-season very seriously allows me to play long, healthy seasons.
What do you do in the off-season? Tell me about it.
I go back home to Merced and I work out with my dad a whole lot. So he just gets me right in every way, speed, strength, all that.
Hey, you were telling me that you're from Merced, that you played at Buhack Colony in the North Valley for a couple years of high school, then transferred to San Joaquin Memorial. Tell me about that decision.
That decision was all made, blessed to my mom, because she gave me the opportunity to go out there and just show the world what I have. I don't know, it was a small town in Merced, and I got an opportunity to play at San Joaquin, and it just exploited my recruitment from there, got more eyes on me, and I was able to show the world what I can do.
Then out of high school, don't know if you had any interest at all, but how do you make the decision to go to Fresno City?
I want to thank I want to shout out Coach Brown on this, because he would show up to Memorial every day. I had a few D2 offers and some small D1s, but he told me, hey, you're that guy. And he pushed me at Fresno City. He said, you're going to come here, you're going to develop, and you're going to leave with a big Division I offer. And I just trusted in it. That's
working out for you so far. 6 foot, right? Like 215? What are we exactly?
Yeah, I don't lie about how I'm 6'2", 215. I'm trying to get to around 225 after season, so.
Yeah, I just know if I was a DB, I wouldn't want to have to come up and tackle you, especially if you got a head of steam, Jordan. You were delivering some blows on Saturday. In fact, and you took a blow at one point, too, where you came running off the field and kind of taking your helmet off. I was worried about you for a second because it looked like you got hit near the head. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. My mom's a nurse, so she's able to take care of me after the games. I got a hot pack on my stuff, and I was feeling healthy the next day.
Okay, cool. That offensive line, obviously a big part of your success as well. That group, to start the year, you guys were struggling a little bit to run the football. What's been working lately? Why is it working so much better now?
I feel like everyone's just finally buying in. It's not – we go in the film room, everyone's more focused. Our coach, Wiley, he's been doing a great job of just keeping everyone locked in and remembering the goals at the end of the season, and everyone's just finally buying in.
How quickly did it click in after the game that you'd won 200 for coach?
Yeah, I think around the last drive, as soon as we made the kick, I was like, yeah, we had a great game up front. I feel like we hit all boards we wanted to. We usually have 3 main goals in each of our games, and I know that one was checked off the bucket list.
To get coach win number 200, basically.
Oh, no, I didn't see that till the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the 200 yards for our little goal. But when
200 yards rushing you're talking about? Or yeah.
That's our goal in our for the offensive line and our running backs. But when I saw you get 200 wins, I saw the sign. I was like, oh, wow. I didn't even know it was your 200-win game.
Yeah.
That's the way that coach likes it, right?
That's right.
Yeah. When you think about that, though, and you think about a coach winning 200 games at a school, I mean, that's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Blessing I get to play for him. I mean, it's been a blessing just being here, being under his program, just being able to learn, develop, and just become a better football player, all thanks to him, and I appreciate you.
Coach, before we started this recording, you were talking to Jordan. You were kind of coaching him a little bit, and you were saying you finally hit that hole. I think you were talking about on a certain play.
Yeah.
What were you talking about in particular?
Oh, the running game. A lot of the running game's timing, and to be able to see things and know, where these plays hit. And he was struggling a little bit with one of our plays. Kind of seeing it. And Saturday he saw it 3 times, and they were all big plays. And so. Just like he said in the room, they kept the faith, in the offensive system and the running game, and when things finally come together after hard work and effort, it's a beautiful thing. And the guys see it, they feel it, they know it, and say, okay, yeah, we got it now. But it takes time.
Yeah.
And we're in game 9, right? And we finally hit that play like we wanted to, and it's great when a guy like Jordan just can validate that, say, yeah, now I see what you mean,
Huge win on Saturday over COS, your 14th straight win as a program over College of Sequoias, which is pretty amazing to think about. The win, like I mentioned, it moves Fresno City to 5-4 on the season. You guys are 3-1 in the conference, tied with COS for second place, behind undefeated Modesto in the conference standings. And there are 3 at-large berths in addition to the automatic conference championship bids that go to the state playoffs this year. So you're still right in the hunt at this point. Got a rivalry game coming up this week against Reedley. The Pump will be on the line. This game always carries a little extra meaning, no matter what the records are. Just knowing, Coach, that you've gotten to this point in the season after that 2-4 start, it's exciting, right? That knowing that you're going into the last week of the season and you got meaningful football to play.
Yeah, it's just a credit to these players that they stuck it out. They didn't blink. They deep down inside we know we're a good team, and we started off slow. A couple games there we left out there we should have won, but we knew that what we had, and we just had to start playing better football, and gradually we got better each week. And you saw it firsthand, Scott, calling all these games. Our team's just starting to get a feel for what it's like to win at this level, and the things that we have to accomplish during the week to be able to do that. And a team with less character would have folded their tents and went home, and we'd be sitting here 3-6, so I'm not even worried about what we did in preseason. I'm worried about what we're doing now and in the future. We got a big week coming up. Goal number 1 is to get this team in the postseason and the playoffs. High probability of getting in the playoffs if we win Saturday. Obviously, everything's got to line up, but it's a pretty good chance. We want to keep the Pump in Fresno. I'd like to have the Pump in the office for the new coach when he comes in here. So those 2 things are really important. And we just need to keep getting better. I mean, we left a lot of things on the field Saturday. I mean, there's a lot of improvement to be made Saturday, and both sides of the ball. But we had a will to win that game, and we got it done. And it's time to turn the page and move on to next week.
Yeah, before we start talking more about the Reedley game and a little bit more about your star running back who you've got here, Jordan Corbett, just got to ask you a follow-up question about Saturday and after the game, because it was fun watching you on the field, Coach. I was way up there looking through my binoculars, but I saw you had, I think, one of your grandchildren in your arms for a little bit. Yeah. You were taking photos with pretty much all of Fresno at that point on the field. How many people have you heard from since Saturday?
I would say in the hundreds, yeah, really, for sure. We usually leave the field after the game. We shake hands with the other team, and we go straight in the locker room. We talk as a team, and we celebrate in the locker room as a team. And, naturally, it just happened that we stayed on the field that game. It was not planned, but, it was kind of cool that everybody stayed on the field, and the cameras came out, and the camera phones came out, and the fans came down, and the parents came down, and we had a really good crowd, which was really good to see. And obviously, I had my 3 boys there, my 3 grandkids there, and for me, it's I think family is the most important thing. Man upstairs and family, and our team is our family, and we try to develop that, and we believe in that as a program, and And then once we take care of those two things, everything else takes care of itself.
Jordan, it's kind of cool knowing that, you will be a part of that for the rest of your life, right? Like you were a big part of that win that got Coach C win number 200, something that we'll talk about in this valley for a long time.
Sir. He always told us we got these new sweatshirts this year, that 25. He said that 25 is just our year, and it represents our year, and it's always going to be remembered. So I'm just glad it went out like that.
That's very cool. Very cool. This final game here against Reedley, hopefully not the final game of your season. Won't be. You guys are bowl eligible at this point. But you got possible playoff berth, on the line here in addition to the rivalry that's in play. In a week like this, you don't need to be told to be focused in, right? You're already focused.
Yeah, it's been the expectation all season. We've never really had a dull moment where nobody's not locked in. It's just we just need to get some things right, and now everything's clicking, everything's rolling, and we're just ready to play great football.
As a running back, sometimes we look at it and say, okay, you just get handed the ball and you just start running hard. You look for somebody to hit, all that stuff. Tell me some of the intricacies that go into playing the running back position when you're carrying the football and maybe when you're not carrying the football, like when it comes to blocking, things like that, figuring out who you need to block, maybe in pass protection.
It just goes all back to coaching. We go step by step by every play. We have our certain read points we just got to stay to, and we just got to stay consistent with our coaching points, follow your coaching points, and it'll lead you into success.
What do you think your best attribute is as a running back?
Being so versatile. I played a lot of different positions in high school, and I just feel like I can run a route, I can catch, I can juke, running you over. I just feel like I'm a 5-back, like we said, 5-tool back, so there's nothing I really can't do. Tell
me a little about that. What other positions did you play?
I played receiver and free safety in high school. Really enjoyed free safety. Had a good season at that. And yeah, it just kept me real versatile.
That's why Coach Brown went and watched him play, because he thought he was going to play DB.
I was going to say, Coach. I mean, I look at Jordan.
And he can.
Yeah. He Jordan looks good coming off the bus. He's one of those guys that you want right near the front of the line, right?
That's right. Right.
Any thought ever about playing him on defense?
Oh yeah, it was a daily conversation when he first got here. But he's settled into the running back position, and he's turned out to be a fabulous player.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Did you want to play offense, Jordan? Is that part of the reason? Or
that's always been my passion. I knew I could play defense, do great at defense, but offensive just always had that soft spot for it.
Yeah, no, it's fun watching when you have that ball because you kind of run angry, kind of like a defensive guy. You were telling me that you are hoping to become a nurse later and be a biology major when you kind of finally get focused in on a certain major. What was the inspiration for that?
Inspiration was my family. I was raised by a bunch of women, and they were all nurses. So, put a good influence on me. We like money over here. So
there you go. Steady work, right? That's always good. Anything unique about being raised, in a female-dominated household? Has it shaped you in any way?
Not too much. Thank God my dad was still there, so I didn't get too much on that side. But it learns to feel like I'm more empathetic. I can see things from many different viewpoints, and just keeps me unselfish, keeps me wanting to support for the women that made so many sacrifices for me to be here and just provide for them.
Was your dad an athlete too?
Yeah, my dad, he played a year at Merced College, then went to Akron after 1 year junior college football. And yeah, he was a great athlete. And my mom, she also played basketball at Patterson High School, and she was one of their best basketball players.
Oh, that's cool. So here's a funny question. Which one is more intense when it comes to the games? I'm guessing mom, right?
No.
Oh, dad. It's dad? Yeah, sometimes it's the moms, Coach, which is kind of interesting. In this case, it's dad, though?
Dad, 100%.
Yeah.
Dad, he's the one that makes me take it so serious. I don't know. He told me as a young age, you're not just finna play for fun. Like, you don't do this for fun. Football, like, there's money in this. There's lifestyle in this. A lot of lessons you need to learn. So I'm glad he just kept on me, never let me lose focus, and just kept me disciplined, kept my head down, and worked me out so I can be here.
That's awesome. All right. So even though he didn't say it was just for fun, is it a ton of fun?
Oh, it's a ton of fun. At moments, yeah, like there be days where it's hard, it's tough, you don't want to show up, but at the end of the day, you got your goals, you got that in the back of your mind, you just got to keep chasing your dreams. And he says, never quit. So you just got to keep going.
we obviously see the football player, every Saturday when Jordan's out there running around, making moves, picking up touchdowns, delivering blows. Coach, what's impressed you about him as the person since he arrived at Fresno City?
He's extremely loyal. He's loyal to himself, his family, his program, his teammates. He never misses. He's there early. He, we can count on him. And that is an awesome attribute for a young man. That's going to carry through the rest of his life. After this football playing days, someone's going to hire him. They're going to know they have a guy they can count on to do a job and do the job best of their ability and do it all the time on time. And that is really a strong character trait that Jordan possesses.
What do you tell coaches at the next level when they ask about Jordan?
Well, if they want to win, they need to recruit Jordan. Really. Any running back room in America is going to get better if this guy's sitting in it. So it's an easy sell, really. Put on the film, talk about all the different things. He didn't even mention his ability in pass protection to be able to block, and that's one of the first things a running back coach would ask me is will he block in pass pro? And when you have a feature back like Jordan who could do all those things, it just makes an offense better.
You see that sometimes, right, coaches? Especially with guys who are really good college running backs trying to make an NFL roster because there's so few spots available. That pass protection is what it comes down to sometimes, right? You need to be able to trust a running back there on third down. Be able to give your quarterback time against a blitz.
Yeah, they got to save the quarterback. If quarterback gets hurt at that level, it's hard to win. So yeah, running backs have to be able to block. And then even if he ever gets to this point, which if he keeps growing and keeps getting better, he might have a nice shot. He'll be able to play in the kicking game and the special teams at that level. Even at the four-year college level, his ability to run and hit and tackle are things that they're going to carry over at the next level for sure.
Yeah, I think when they hear that you played defense in high school too, they might want to put you back at safety, Jordan, as well.
I'm willing to it. Travis ain't the only two-way athlete.
Right. You starting to kind of think about the end of the journey a little bit? Not in a negative sense, but just in a positive sense. I know it was sophomore day for you. Coach says that the sophomores usually speak to the team before their last home game. What did you say to the team? What was your message?
I just told everyone just stay focused. I didn't want to get too cupcakey on anyone. I just wanted to win this game this week and get on to the next.
So when you kind of think back on these 2 years and maybe how you've changed, as a football player and as a person, what comes to mind?
Learning to put others first, and it's not only just about you, and it takes a team to make things happen. So not being selfish, not tearing my teammates down, but instead building them up and bringing us together. I feel like that's been the best results for me so far.
What would it mean to you to make the playoffs and to get another opportunity to maybe compete for a state championship?
They better not let us in because we're gonna win that state ring. We got a lot to prove.
Well, we'll probably play a team we already played.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting too.
Yeah, it would be. And you know what, Shannon Pulliam, who's my broadcast partner on the radio broadcast of the games on 940 Kino, we've talked about that, and I've talked about that. With the way that you guys have looked the last couple of weeks, Coach, we've been talking so often about trying to overcome that rough start like you talked about and just get into the playoffs. Hey, but the goal is to win the whole thing, right? And I look at you guys now, and I look at you as a little bit of a dangerous team, the way you're kind of putting it all together right now.
Yeah, obviously we got to win Saturday. That's job one. But yeah, we're starting to play well. We got confidence. There's a lot of enthusiasm in our program right now. There's again, it was hard. It took a lot of willpower for these kids to just fight through that adversity that we had early in the year, and it's a great example. People talk about that all the time in athletics at any level in sports. When there's adversity, how do you respond? This team responded. It responded positively, and we put ourselves in a position to continue to play some football. And we got a lot of football left, I believe.
Yeah, I certainly think so as well with the way that you guys have been playing here. Anything special about this week with regards to the rivalry, playing for the Pump? Obviously, the Pump's on the line. You've been in a lot of these games. You're now in your 27th year at the helm at Fresno City. Do you do anything special, rivalry week, or is it just, it just is kind of the history of the game that you mentioned to your players?
Well, I'll be perfectly honest with you. There's probably guys on our team that don't even know what the Pump is. So we got to educate them on that. We got to show it to them. I love rivalry games. I think they're important in college football, and there's rivalry games all over the place. Fresno State got what did they get
the milk can
yeah, against Boise, which was good to see. And I've been at Purdue, Indiana is one of the fiercest rival games that I've been in. Ohio State, Michigan was a huge rival when I was at Ohio State. SC, Notre Dame, USC, UCLA. Those games. I mean, I grew up coaching in those games, and to be able to have that at a smaller scale here in Fresno is important. And we're going to make our team understand what this is all about, and talk about the pump and why it became our our prize for winning this game.
Yeah, obviously, Reedley and Fresno City, both in the State Community College District, right? So kind of like brother schools, in a way, and going at it on the gridiron. You look at some of the old photos of this game, Jordan. I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to see, but, back in the 70s, I mean, Ratcliffe Stadium was packed for this game in the 70s. When you hear that, get you kind of fired up a little bit?
Yeah, I'm excited. I always love competition games. I feel like last week was a great competition game. They're down the street. And just for another rivalry game like this, it's the games we live for.
Yeah. Coach, Reedley has been struggling a little bit this year, but I mean, they're probably a little better than the record indicates, because the last couple of weeks, they've been right in these football games. Had a great chance to beat COS 2 weeks ago, game that went to overtime. Last week, I saw that they were up in the second half on Sacramento City by 11 before the Panthers came back to kind of nip them late in that one. What do you see out of Reedley early on in your film study?
Yeah, they could be a 6-3 team right now. They lost some games at the end there, and they really should have beat COS a couple weeks ago. And they're gonna play as good as they could possibly play against us. They do every year, and we need to match that. Again, when we go back to rivalry games, throw the records out the window. You got to come out of that thing 1-0 and play as good as you can.
Kickoff 1 p.m. At Reedley on Saturday. If you want to go to the game in person at Reedley High School, we'll be on the air. If you can't make it there at 12:40 on 940 Kino, you can stream it through their website as well. Jordan, as you kind of look towards the end of your Fresno City career, what has football meant to you in your life at this point, if you had to sum it up?
Football has been my world. It's been my everything. I spent my whole life working towards it. I've had a goal, get my education paid for, and I'm just glad everything's falling into place.
And then when Fresno City, how they factor into that, what has it meant to you?
It was I was so happy I was able to stay home, develop here. I didn't have to go away. No San Mateo, no Modesto. I got to stay right here at home. Had a great program and compete with the best teams in the state, and it's just been a blast.
Coach, I'm sure, Jordan's the type of player that makes coaching Fresno City special, right?
Yeah. And all our guests that we had here, I mean, quality human being right here. And it's my honor to coach guys like that and like this. And I'm excited to see what holds for him in the future. And, we'll be, he's a Ram for life, and we'll be following him wherever he goes.
Give me a final thought on Saturday and just what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this team in the playoff, and it's a must win for the Rams to be able to do that. And once we get in that playoff, everybody starts back at zero again. So let's get it done Saturday, and then let the chips fall where they may.
All right, so it's Fresno City and Reedley, Saturday 1 p.m. again at Reedley High School. That's where Reedley plays their home games. You can tune in on 940 Kino if you can't make it in person. Our broadcast will start at 12:40. Kickoff again at 1 p.m. Regular season finale, the pump will be on the line. Playoff positioning possibly on the line. We'll be updating you on other scores during the broadcast and tell you how it's all going to work out. I'm not a computer guy, Coach, so I'm going to have to wait to see the final numbers. But as you mentioned, there's a good chance that if Fresno City wins on Saturday, that they're going to find their way into the postseason. That's head coach Tony Caviglia, that's star running back Jordan Colbert, and that is another edition of the Fresno City Football Report. Thanks for watching.